Hey YouTube, and welcome back to the Sneaky V YouTube channel. Last time you guys saw me, I was getting the all pan, all windage tray, and all pickup tube on this thing. And I was going to finish up by putting the front cover on, but I didn't have the RTV. I did go and buy that RTV and get this front cover on, and I went ahead and torqued it down because that step is not super important. You just slide it on there, torque your bolts here down to 18 foot-pounds. There is a little bit extra you have to insert this seal here, and that takes a special tool. But my seal was already inserted when I bought this thing, so that part I didn't have to do that part. So for the simplicity of this video, I went ahead and skipped that part. I skipped videoing that part so I could go ahead and get the heads on. Now to get the heads on to this lock, I'm going to be using an ARP head stud kit instead of bolts. Studs actually screw down into the block, and they have a nut that goes on the end of them here, which puts a lot more even pressure on the heads than you would get with the normal bolts. And this company, ARP, they make a lot stronger studs, so you can get a lot more clamping pressure on your head. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get these heads on. So the first thing I want to do to get my heads on is install the head gaskets. Now I have those guys around here somewhere. What did I do with my head gaskets? There they are. I moved them. And the head gaskets just kind of slip over the studs like this. Let's see. This is this side. They're labeled front. So this one has front, and it'll only fit with the front facing forward and up on this side. So this is this side's head gasket. Just slip that on over there, and this one goes on this side, same way. Labeled front. Where's that label at? And just drops on just like that. There's nothing special about putting the studs in. Either you just screw them in by hand. ARP does want you to use their special lubricant. I've already done that on all of the studs just to keep this video short, so I can go ahead and get these heads on. So the next thing I want to do is actually going to be getting my lifters in, because I can't get these guys in with the heads on. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these guys down in here. I told you guys before that I had the solid roller lifters. They have a roller on the end, and they're not hydraulic, so they don't compress or fill up with oil. They're just a solid piece of steel, and that allows you to run your engine at a little bit higher RPM. I think they take a little bit more wear than your normal hydraulic pushers though. But anyways, I'm gonna get these guys dropped in. And they just drop into the lifter boards here. These are connected by a bar, so your normal hydraulic lifters will require a little tray that fits down into these grooves to keep them from going anywhere. Your normal flat tappet lifters, they'll actually be mostly flat on the bottom, but they're made so that they spin around in the lifter boards to wear evenly. These do not need to spin. If these spin, you're gonna have a really bad time, because that roller on the end needs to be facing a certain direction. Just like hydraulic rollers, they do not spin. So they have these bars here to keep them in place, and they just clip in like that, and you drop them right down in there. You got 4 sets of 2 for each side, so 16 total. Drop down in there like that. And I'm messing up one of my favorite shirts here with this stuff that I put on the boat, so the heads of the boat, the studs there. But it'll be alright. I'm sure it'll wash out. Let's get the rest of these lifters in. That one already has one. These guys are what pushes up on the push rod to push up on one end of your rocker arms, which pushes down on the other end of the rocker arm, which opens your valve. Basically, pushes up on this end of the rocker arm, which pushes that end down. That end pushes on the valve and opens up the whole valve assembly there. It's not really that complicated. It's just there's a lot going on there. Alright, I need one more of these guys. There he is. Alright. So all of my lifters are in. Make sure they're seated. And my gaskets are on. So basically the next thing I do is drop my heads on. Here's head number 1 for this side. Just gotta get them lined up here. That one's on. And for this side, I've still gotta go back and change out that spring that I changed for checking the length of my push rods, but it'll be fine for now. Second head's on. Now I can go through and install all my washers. Smaller washers obviously go on the smaller studs. 2, 3, 4, 5 for this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more for this side. Five. And now for the bigger ones, the bigger washers go on the bigger studs obviously, but the bigger washers actually have a little crosshatch pattern. I don't know if you guys can see that through the camera, but it has a little roughened pattern on the bottom. That's how it goes down facing the head, so that the washer doesn't actually turn when we go to put the nuts on, because that'll affect the torque. So let's get these on. There's 10 of these for each side. 10 are going to be in the inside of the head here. 5 are going to be in the inside of the head here. And there will be 5 on the outside. Now, this is a LSX block. But I'm using LS3 heads. So, there are 5 other holes on the bottom here that would have been taken up by smaller studs that I'm just not using because this head doesn't have the provisions for it. See. 3, 5. And for the outside ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Should be one more on this side, or several more on this side apparently. 3, 4. And now with all of the studs, the washers, and the nuts in place, I'm gonna go ahead and zip these guys down with my impact wrench, but I'm not going to tighten them down. I'm not gonna torque them down with it, if I can even find the darn thing, because torquing these down takes a little bit more force than this thing can supply. Plus, I think this thing can actually damage them if you try to torque them down with it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get them snug down. Just barely. Because there is a specific order that you have to torque them down in. Alright, now that that's done, and all of those nuts are in contact with the head, holding it on, see how much time I have left? Oh shoot, it's 5:40, I might not be able to finish this. Now the next thing I want to do is get all of these torqued down to spec. To do that, I need to tighten the big ones down to 90 foot-pounds, and I need to tighten these smaller ones down to 28 foot-pounds, and I need to do that in steps. For the big ones, it needs to be 30, 60, then 90. For the smaller ones, it needs to be 9.3, 16 point, or 18.6, and then 24. And let's see if I can do that at least within the next 10 minutes. So the tightening order for these is, I'm not actually sure what it is, so I'm gonna have to look it up so I don't mess anything up. Okay, so it starts with this one. This one's number 1, and it goes to 30 foot-pounds. So set this to 30. So this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6, which is right here. Number 7 on the outside. Number 8 on the other outside. Number 9 on the inside on the edge. number 10 on this side on the edge. And then I do the outside, the smaller ones, which will be numbers 11 through 15. And they only go to 9.3 foot-pounds right now. So number 11's in the middle, number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15. And then I go up to 60 and do it all over again for the big ones. $60 foot-pounds. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Hope it's not broken. $60 foot-pounds again. So 60. It is quite a lot. 60 is number 3 here. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. 14. And then I do 18.6 for the smaller boats. It's 18.6. And then finally, no, I go to 90 foot-pounds for the big boats. Let's get my wrench reset here. Alright, this is the hard part. 90 foot-pounds for these big ones. Oh boy. It's 90. Ooh. It is the scariest thing that these things could possibly just snap off because they cost quite a bit of money. But the engineers know what they're talking about, I guess. $90, number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. Finally. And now I just got to do the 28 foot-pounds for the smaller ones. But that is a workout, which is why I never wanted to take these back off and do this again. But it needed to be done. So let's go back down to 28 foot-pounds and knock out these last ones, and I gotta get out of here because this place is about to close. Foot-pounds. 28 foot-pounds is nothing compared to that. And just like that, one head is done. I still have to knock out the other one, but I'll have to do that some other time. I gotta get out of here before this place locks me in. It's about to close up. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Send your friends my way. I could use the views. Thank you for watching and have a good one.